Hello, everybody. I'm Leslie, and the short practice that we will soon begin is today focused on a little bit of movement and nice restorative posture. To begin, we're going to wake up some sensation and presence in our bodies with self-touch, and it'll be a little bit vigorous. So start by making 2 firm cup hands. Fingers tightly squeezed and a nice divot in the center of each palm. And pick a leg to start with, and we'll tap up and down the whole length of that leg. Make sure you get your foot all around every bone, the back and the front of your leg, the inside and the outside. One more time, up and down. And let's switch legs. The cup shape of your hand is to help it not feel so slappy. A little bit more nice on the skin. Let's go once more, down and up. And then take a little break standing. You might swirl your hands and wrists a few times. And then pause to feel the surface of your legs. And let that enveloping awareness come down to the soles of your feet as they touch down to the floor. Checking in with the presence that we've supported so far. And let's continue our tapping. So activate cup hands once again and start to tap all around your pelvis, your hips, your low back, and your low belly on one side. And get your bum. And then take those taps over to the other side. I've got to be careful of my microphone here. You might find a little forward rounding in your spine when you're tapping that part of your low back. And then bring both of your hands to as much of the back of your pelvis, back of your hips, and low back as you can reach. And then take another little pause, letting your arms take a rest. And then including a bit more of your lower body in your awareness. Maybe about the belly button level down. Belly, low back, hips, down the length of your legs, into your feet. And we'll continue a little ways up, more and more, including more and more of the body in this way of coming into presence. So choose a side that you want to work with first. Lift up that arm, make 1 cup hand, and find a little bit of a side bend, lengthening out here, and start to tap all up and down your ribs. You might get the front of your rib cage a little bit here. You get your armpit too. Just reaching as far as is possible for you to reach. Let's go a couple more breaths. And then right away, switch. New cup hand, new gentle side bend. Tapping along all over your rib basket. You might hear a little resonance inside your own lung space as you tap. And then take a little rest. You might choose to continue with your cup hands here or make soft fists and then bring the tapping and the intention up here to your upper chest, right along the front of your rib cage, a little bit on your sternum, the breastbone there, and right up underneath the collarbones, getting out to the left and right. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of Tarzan energy and you want to make a noise like, let that come to a pause. Gently sweep one hand down the length of the opposite arm a couple times. And then pause one last time standing, feeling kind of around your chest, down the sides of your body, over your belly, hips, butt, down your legs, and into your feet. That's one way of arriving to presence, that's for sure. Let's get down on the ground now. And since we're here, let's make it nice and comfortable. So maybe take one of your blankets and unfold it so that it covers some pretty broad surface area on your mat space. And come into all fours table pose. Set your knees up wider than you normally would, maybe to the edges of your blanket or your mat. And you can keep your hands in their normal spot. Grip the ground with your left hand and float your right arm straight up and out to the right, turning your chest to the right. And then follow that by guiding your right arm underneath you, reaching to the left and hovering over the floor. Let's pulse like that a few times. Open twist and closed twist. Finding a little bit of active awareness around your spine and center, and pause up here in your open twist. Push your palms apart and take a breath. Swoop your right arm down, land it right underneath your right shoulder, and right away we'll try that same little flow to the left, lifting your left arm up, turning left, and then swooping under and through to the right, letting your right elbow bend to bring you into that hover. You might choose to go with your breath here, saving your inhales for the reach up and your exhales for the curl down. And as you reach up again, pause here. Broaden across your upper back and across your chest to open your arm span. And stay for one more hearty, full breath. Come on back down, replacing your hands under your shoulders and step your knees into their usual position underneath your hips. And now let's move your whole spine from end to end. So when you feel that an inhale is ready to come, use a nice long inhale to lift your tail, lift your chest and head, and gently pull your hands to your knees, knees to your hands. We'll stay here in cow pose, just breathing naturally. And then when you sense an exhale ready to come, create the opposite action. Push your hands forward, knees back, curl your tail down, round your spine, and drop your head. And we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Let your belly fill when you have an inhale. And then try going with the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. And along the way, you might have other little wiggles that want to express. Please invite yourself to move in ways that give you a sense of increased, simple pleasure in feeling your body. One more round of breath. All right. Our last several minutes together will be in a restorative posture, some stillness. To get ready for that, bring your floor blanket right to one end of your mat and prepare your other blankets in either a nice thick fold or a nice thick roll. And you may end up only needing one of these, but it's nice to have them at the ready. Just make sure that they are within reach. And then sitting at the end of your floor blanket so that you'll end up laying on it, bring your bolster to tuck between the length of your legs and come to lay down. Set up one blanket fold or blanket roll to your left. Spread your arms out into a T. Pick your bum up and over to the right. And then guide your legs and your bolster as one unit over to the left to land on your little blanket stack. Once it has landed, just see what your top leg wants. Maybe it wants to hook over your bolster. Maybe it wants to slide down and away a little bit. Take a few moments to hone in on what feels easeful. And you might choose to guide your head and neck to look to the right. Maybe closing your eyes, letting your body settle. Sense your own heaviness sinking down into the floor. Perhaps falling a little deeper with your exhales. And then, moving more slowly than we have this whole time, gradually bring your nose to point back up to the ceiling. And swing your knees to point up at the ceiling. Shift your hips a little bit over to the left. Carry or arrange your blanket roll or blanket fold over to the right. And gradually twist your lower body to the right. And then once you land, take a moment to just arrange your feet and legs in a way that feels easygoing. And just as softly and gradually roll your head to face over to the left without forcing, without reaching for any amount of twist, just allowing for what is. However small, however subtle. And attuning to that soft landing at the end of your exhale, riding your exhales down, pausing at the very bottom of your exhale. To exit, moving your slowest yet. Roll your head up to center. Gently just kick your bolster out of the road and bring your knees back up. And take a couple of breaths here in a more neutral position. Turn to your favorite side and pause for a moment, letting your head rest. Doing as little as possible. Bring yourself up. Take a seat. Take a look around. Notice what it's like to be present now. And take your time moving on to whatever comes next. Thank you for joining practice today. Peace, everybody.